Hello, 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 and good morning, business owners, coaches, experts. It's your boy Leon Street back again. And we're back Sunday morning. Just a slight delay this morning. Had a technical issue in my laptop. For some reason, the web camera wasn't coming on. But anyway, we managed to make it work. Just a traditional Windows restart and it's back on. So today I'm talking about a really important topic that will help you if you are a coach, expert, or consultant looking to make a breakthrough in your business, and how to create your next breakthrough. That's what I want to talk about today, because one of the things that I come across quite often is people looking to achieve the next thing, the next goal. And it's not always clear. It's not always straightforward in terms of how you make that next breakthrough. And I guess for a lot of people, perhaps your breakthrough is related to a goal, related to something that you want to achieve, or you want to move away from a current situation that I guess isn't working for you, and you want to make the breakthrough that takes you there. And so I'm going to be talking about that today. If that's a topic that interests you, then give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me a like. I find a lot of people, I guess, go through different situations in life and never quite tap into what's possible for them. And that's what I want to get for you guys. I want to create a situation where you've got some steps to follow, some ideas to understand. And even if it's just raising your level of awareness to, I guess, what's possible for you, that's what we're going to go through today. So let me jump forward. As always, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We go live on a Wednesday evening talking about marketing and sales, and then a Sunday morning like we do today, obviously UK time, talking about mindset and I guess ideas and principles and things that will help you to grow your business. Head on over to leonstreet.com/YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Do yourself a favor. There's lots of great content on there. And I'm sure it will help you with your next breakthrough, as well as what I'm going to talk about today. So let's kick off with a nice quote just to set the scene. All personal breakthroughs begin with a change in belief. And here we have Tony Robbins. And for me, I think a lot of the times when you're looking for a breakthrough in your business, you're looking for something external, and it's not your fault or anybody's fault. It's usually just an idea that you think, I'm trying to create a result. I'm trying to create something that changes your current situation, and you're looking for like a sign. You're looking for something to happen. And usually I remember when I was in this situation, I'd look for something external to me. It was never about my own beliefs and I guess my understanding of where I am and where I need to be, and looking for something to change within me. And I guess when you get to that stage, you start to understand that actually what is it that you've got to create in your life. It starts with beliefs, guys, because whether you believe something is possible or not possible, whichever way you believe is what is true. And whether you believe something can happen, can change, or can't change, you're right there. And I forget the famous person who coined this particular quote/phrase, whether you think you can or you can't is the truth. It starts with your beliefs. And if you're looking for a breakthrough, I guess you got to be clear on what it is that you want, right? And a lot of the times, I came across this before I get into my kind of mini explanation, but I came across the diagram that you see on the screen. It's called the belief cycle. I came across it from my first coach back in 2008 when I was 28. And it comes from Tony Robbins, and it's called the belief cycle, I believe. Well, I believe it's from him. If I'm wrong, then let me know, guys. Give me the correct person who actually created this process. But it's the belief cycle, and it starts on the top left with belief. Yeah, and there's 4 boxes on the screen, and the first one is belief. The amount of belief you have determines the amount of potential you can tap into. Yeah, so whether you truly believe it's possible, or if that little voice in your head says, you're just saying that and you don't believe it, and then you actually don't believe it, right? So the amount of belief that you have determines the amount of potential that you can tap into. The next step is potential, because obviously from belief becomes the amount of potential you can tap into. So potential, second box, top right, the amount of potential you tap into determines the amount of action you take. So the amount of potential you tap into. So let's say your belief is high and you want to make this breakthrough, and therefore you believe that the potential that you have for an idea, for a goal, for whatever it is that you want to change or create or have, you start to really drive that potential and think, you know what's truly possible for me. And off the back of that, the potential is therefore what drives the amount of action that you take, and this determines the results you get. So we're into action, the fourth box, bottom right hand corner on the screen. And this is interesting because if you think about it, you know, sometimes when things aren't going well, you start to consider where you are. Let me just turn on to see if I can get my notes on here. So we're looking at here action. So we've gone 1, which is beliefs, 2, potential, and 3 we're looking at on the bottom right hand corner. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if I can share something else on screen. So let me see if I can share another screen and we can just follow this along, because I think it's important, you know, we get clear on this diagram that I'm talking about here. So you should be able to see. So if you're watching this back on the replay, you know, remember, give me a hashtag replay just to know that you were there, yeah, that you were watching back. So action. So if you think about this, the point that I want to get to here is there's a lot of people out there who they have low beliefs or small beliefs because they think it'll never happen for me, so therefore it's not possible. So their beliefs are pretty low because maybe they've experienced some setbacks before. So therefore their ideas and the amount of potential they believe they can tap into becomes limited. So therefore, when we get into action on the bottom right hand side, which I've starred, their action also becomes low because of the limited belief in what they think is possible. And so when we get to step 4, results, I'm just going to highlight that in green. When we get to step 4, our results that we're looking at achieving also become small. And so what happens is when you start to look at what, you know, is therefore now possible that you've achieved a result, well, your beliefs, as we go up here, they become even smaller, yeah, or you start to distract yourself with other things and you just think it will never happen for me. And this is the challenge that a lot of, you know, coaches, experts and consultants are going through. But what happens is if you reframe that with your belief that, you know what, like if I can take everything negative that's happening to me and put it to one side and really go for it, just go for it no matter what, and just say, it doesn't matter what happens, I'm just going to go for it. And you drop all of, I guess, the low self-belief, the low self-worth, the fears, all of those things. And even if you just say it to yourself hypothetically, what happens is, and you can see me, I'm just highlighting on screen. What happens is everything around your potential, and I'm highlighting green here just so you guys can see, your potential starts to go through the roof. Yeah. And this is where you win, because now your beliefs have increased, your potential, the potential for what is possible, you now start to see. Yeah. But here's the really cool thing. Once you get into that frame of mind, you can now back up the actions of what, you know, are going to make that belief worthy and that potential worthy of what's possible for you, because your actions go to this next level. And for me, this is one of the big things that a lot of people, they underestimate about being, you know, a business owner, coach, consultant, expert, because they're looking for, you know, I need to learn the new trick with organic marketing. I need to learn the new trick with paid advertising. I need to learn the new trick with how to close high value deals. I need to learn the new trick with how to just attract everybody to me. And the reality is that it starts with your belief. The things that you find out about your business, the new skills that you've got to create, they will come out of this belief and this understanding of what's possible for you, the potential, and therefore that will determine your action. And this is where most people, you know, I guess freeze. They don't understand that actually, yeah, you still have to take action. You know, I remember before on a previous video that I was talking about, I mentioned, you know, The Secret, where in that book, also the DVD, the movie, they talk about this law of attraction. But the reality is people get lost in, you know, I'm going to think about what I want to manifest, but they don't take the necessary or the relevant or the potential action that they really need to go to. You know, there's another great book that I refer to as well. It's on a number of different reading lists that I have, which is called 10X by Grant Cardone. And whether you love him or hate him doesn't matter. The point of me sharing that book is the fact that he shares in that book 10X for you to take 10 times the amount of action. And whether you take 2 times, 3 times, 5, 100, it doesn't matter. the point that I'm getting to is that once you really tap into this new belief, understand the potential, and you get to this point of action, that you take your action to the next level. It's not like, oh, I just posted on social media, or I just set up one ad, or I just created a new webinar. It's like, how much action can you truly take? How much do you really want to take it to that next level? And that's the point of me sharing this part with you guys. And so hopefully from that, you'll have this understanding of, if you really want to get that breakthrough, which is the result, yeah, you'll really take things to the next level. And, you know, like, you'll drop the bullshit. And I mean that with good intention, guys, because if you truly want the breakthrough and you want to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve for you, your family, your community, your clients, that's what's going to help you get the results. So hopefully this step, what I've just shared with you, is the first step in just raising, I guess, your awareness to, you know, where you need to be in terms of beliefs, because you know, that's what I kicked off this live stream around. But there's a lot of people who, where I guess they'll look at themselves and they'll ignore the fact that you are the key to all of this. And I say this quite a lot to my clients, like, whenever you look around and you look at, you know, the greatness, the great results, or the poor results, or the difficult times, you're always the common denominator. So if you're the common thing, you know, that is present to all these things, which is right, because it's your life, then it's got to start with you. The change has got to start with you, and that's where the breakthrough comes. So mindset is the next one. So let me see if I can get this up on my tablet as well. So I'm going to switch to this and talk you through the next diagram that I want to share with you guys. And the key that I want you to get here, guys, is, and I've actually got some actionable steps coming up, but the key that I want you to get from what I'm sharing with you is to raise your awareness on where you need to be looking, guys. So hopefully you can see the screen. If you can't see the screen, just give me a thumbs up, give me a heart if you guys are watching live or watching on the replay. So let's get into this. So the belief cycle is what I just took you through. And this is the next thing. This is the next diagram. And, you know, I'm a very visual person myself. That's why I love to share visuals. But the point that I want to share with you on this particular one, let's go back. Let's see if we can just change a couple of bits here. Right, so let me just clear that. And let me get the right color that I want. So with this diagram, I guess, again, this one goes back to first steps in coaching for me. And I think this is important, because if you're looking for the breakthrough, there's a couple of things that you've got to understand what happens with breakthroughs. And so this way you understand how you start the breakthrough with what I just took you through in the belief cycle. And now you've got to understand what happens as part of the actions you take, the results that you get, and what happens when you then go for that next level of beliefs that leads you to more potential, that leads you to your next step of, or your next actions, and then the next results taking you to that next level. So let's get into this mindset. So if we look at this diagram, we're going to start down here on the bottom one, unconscious incompetence. So if you think about the belief cycle, the belief is just an idea that you have. But at that point, usually you are in a place of unconscious incompetence, meaning that you don't understand what is missing, and you don't understand, you're not even aware that the fact that you don't understand. Yeah. And when you get to step two is usually the point where you've said to yourself, you know, I've had enough of this and something needs to change. So you become conscious, but your incompetence is there. So you become a conscious incompetence, meaning that you don't yet have the skills, but you have the awareness, conscious awareness, that something needs to change. And it's at this point where it says awareness stage, which is why I said awareness, that you start to understand, like, I don't know what it is, but something's got to change. Yeah. So remember, the topic of this video is all about how to get your next breakthrough. And what happens is, and think about a situation where you've gone from not having the thing to having the thing, or having a better result. These are the stages that we go through as humans. So the next step is the step-by-step stage. And the step-by-step is, you start to understand that you've gone from awareness to taking action. And this is where your conscious competence kicks in. And your conscious competence is the fact that you have said, look, I need to change. I've got awareness to change. You go out seeking information, whether you get a coach, whether you go watch a video on YouTube, whether you go buy a video course, online course, whether you get a book, audiobook, it doesn't matter. It's at the conscious competence stage that we start to develop the skills to say, you know what, now I'm going to get the result that I'm looking for. At least I'm going to head in the direction and figure it out along the way. And then the final stage, once you've taken those action, which is stage 4, yeah, and you've taken those step-by-step steps to get you to where you want to be, is where you get to the skilled stage. And the skilled stage means that you develop the necessary skills for you to take the actions to help you get the result, to help you get that breakthrough that you're looking for. And this is called the unconscious competence. This is the part where, if you think about driving a car, before, you know, if you've passed your driving test, before you ever drove a car, you were unconscious incompetence. Yeah, like you're at the stage where you had no idea like how to drive a car. Think about when you're a teenager, way before you could even get in the car and drive. Yeah. And then conscious incompetence is, I'd love to drive at some point one day. And then you get to stage 3, step by step, where you're learning to drive and you have to think about the different maneuvers and the things. But then at step 4, once you've passed your driving test, you become unconscious competence, because you don't have to think about driving. You can be in your car, you can be listening to music, somebody can call you, you can tap on, you know, turn them on your Bluetooth. You might have somebody in the passenger seat talking to you and you're still driving safely. So you unconsciously have the competence to manage that whole action of driving. When you make the breakthrough, it's the same thing. You get to that point where you develop the skills that you don't have to think about what you've got to do now. You're just doing it. It's just like breathing. Yeah, you don't have to think about breathing. Your body just does it, right? So this is the point that I want to get to, is that at this stage, when you make the breakthrough, you're going to get to the point where your skills are elevated to, you don't need to think about it unconsciously. It's just happening. But here's the thing that I want you to bear in mind. As you make the breakthroughs, these 2 diagrams that I've just showed you, the first one, the belief cycle, and this one, the mindset, are cycles. And so what will happen, and this is what I want you to really tap into, guys, is that you will go from step 1, as it shows here. Let's see if we can just get this on here. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can get this on. No, I'm gonna explain this. I think the actual iPad pen needs to be recharged. Actually, I've been using it too much lately. So let me get you to this point. If you think about step 1, 2, 3, and 4, yeah, you can see the arrows going up each time. But this is a cycle, and so what happens is, as you increase your competence around what you've done and unconsciously increased it, the cycle will take you back to step 1, where you go to the point of, right, you're either making the breakthrough or you're partway through the breakthrough, but you get to this point where you will go back to unconscious incompetence. And I want to share this part with you because a lot of people, they miss this or they avoid this part. And the point of this particular thing that I want to emphasize is that as you go through the breakthrough, yeah, and you're making progress, you're going to that next level, or you're able to do something better, whatever the breakthrough is that you need to make, could even be in relationships, whatever it is, right? You're going to hit a breakdown, yeah, and you're going to hit a challenge. But what I want to share with you is that that is part of the process. When you make a breakthrough, you got to understand that you're leaving old ways behind. You're changing old beliefs, old patterns, and you're going to a place where you're creating something new usually. And the breakdown or I just call it the breakdown that happens is where on the psychological level, you'll be pulled back to old habits, or those old habits will have tradition and have a space in your mind. And what you'll find is that there's going to be a tug of war between the two. It's like, I've learned a new way, but perhaps the old habits of how you used to do stuff might be lingering there. So the point that I want to get to, guys, is that as you go towards making this breakthrough, don't think, that's the only way that you can be a success, to go back to those old ways. What you've got to do is go back to that belief cycle to say, you know what, I've got to go again. I've got to trust in the process. And this is what most people don't understand. They skip the fact that when you make a breakthrough, it's usually followed or preempted by a breakdown. So So what I'm getting to is, don't think that this is just like a smooth road you follow. Everything works out brilliantly for you, and like that's the end of the story. You go and achieve a goal, and a lot of the times, you know, when we look at some of the people who we think are doing really well, who we look up to, who we look into, you know, the people we admire. A lot of the times we think it's like magic, and we think, you know, they must have something special about them. They must have a gift or whatever it is. And the thing is, we all have it so long as we believe. That's why I started this whole video about the belief cycle. So the point that I want to get to now, and I want to share this quote from Marianne Williamson. When you realize that the real breakthroughs come from levels of higher consciousness, then you also realize that the achievement of maturity and wisdom is the most powerful generator of new beginnings possible. And so me sharing this with you is so that you understand, like, expect to go through some challenging times. The key is higher consciousness, just to know that it's going to happen, to be okay with it happening. Because usually when you are going for that breakthrough, whatever you're going for, you know it's something that's worth it. You know it's something that you really want to happen. So long as you can hold the tension around more challenging things that will inevitably happen to you in that process, you will win, because you will increase your maturity, your wisdom, and you'll understand that these are the steps for you to get new results and the things that you want to change in your life. So where do we go from here? This is how we wrap up, guys. And I've got some actionable steps coming up, quick fire steps. So let me just kind of get to a conclusion for you, and then I'll give you some actions. Dr. Dweck coined the terms fixed mindset and growth mindset to describe the underlying beliefs people have about learning and intelligence. When students believe that they can get smarter, they understand that effort makes them stronger. Therefore, they put in extra time and effort that leads to higher achievement. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because mindset overall is the thing that will help you to really tap into your beliefs. Good morning, Alfred. Thanks for jumping on. I'm doing well, thank you. And what I want to get here and really take you guys onto is that it really starts with belief. If you want to make the breakthrough, you really have to tap into your beliefs and understand where you self-sabotage, understand where your fears drive you away from your target instead of towards it. Understanding what habits are, let's say, they feel enjoyable, they feel good, but they pull you off target with the goal that you want, with the result that you want to achieve. And if you can tap into a way to create habits that allow you to take actions that where you can't compromise on the result that you want to achieve, that's how you'll get closer. And a lot of the times we compromise in life. We compromise for the good of somebody else. We compromise for the greater good. We compromise for, you know, other people, other situations. And what happens is, for a lot of people, is they don't compromise to make their breakthrough happen, to make their goals happen, to make their vision a reality. And imagine that. Imagine if you went through life more where you compromise less on your own goals, you compromise less on your own vision, because you knew the outcome that you would create would be far greater for you and everybody else around you, right? That's where the power of making breakthroughs goes to the next level. And what I've found in, you know, all the successful people that I've learned from, that I've researched, that I've looked into, it's because they have this ability to say, you know, I'm going to go for this target, and they compromise far less than other people who make compromises, who adjust to life to say, you know what, I'm okay with that, but they're not okay. They say they're okay on the outward, external side of them, but on inward, on their inner self, they're crushing their dreams. Yeah, they're crushing their hopes. They're crushing their beliefs. And that's what this video is all about, guys. So here are the steps. The voice, the one in your head that talks to you and talks you out of things, you've got to get to this place of consciousness to know that actually you don't have to pay attention to it, and you can reprogram it so that it speaks for you rather than away from you. Step 2, emotions. Emotions are a learned thing. They are past experiences reused to cope with something happening now. But you've got to understand, do your emotions and the way you react to something serve you now, serve you with the breakthrough that you want to achieve? This is where a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, I'm emotional, as in, you know, I can cope with things. I know how to express love, sadness, happiness, get through different things. But a lot of the times when you look at our emotions, if your emotions are not allowing you to express yourself or to help you on that journey towards getting results, You need to check your emotions, and it's not something where you need to, look at it from an uneducated or a low level of consciousness, meaning that you don't know how to cope, and you don't realize that you can change emotions. What I want you to do is look at emotions and actually look at what serves you better. What level of awareness can you attach to the emotions that are going on right now? And when things aren't going well for you, look at yourself and say, like, what's going on right now? How can I react differently in the moment to change both how I feel and the result that I'm getting right now? A lot of people, they're so lost in low levels of consciousness. And it's not their fault. It's just that they haven't been shown or educated, or they haven't listened to their inner voice to say, I need to change, and I need that change to start with me. I'm just coming to a comment from Jermaine. This is good mentality to have, because you can use this in day-to-day life. That's right. We all have subconscious thoughts, or even do things we are not aware of, which can have an effect on our lives. Yeah. I speak about this a lot, Jermaine. Thank you very much for your comment. It's true. Our unconscious and subconscious account for 90% of who we are and how we act. Yeah. And a lot of people don't, admit to that. And there's way more statistics we can go into. But the one thing I love about, psychology, especially, I'm a marketing coach, I run a business, but the big things I really enjoy is understanding more about human psychology, because that's where you tap into more of success, more clients, more income, more results, more impact in your community, more ways to help. When you tap into, the understanding of how we work. Step 3 of what you can do to make your breakthrough: focus. Follow one course until successful. 1 inch wide, go 1 mile deep. Don't spread yourself into all these different things. Focus. Become an expert on, what changes you need to make. Become an expert on what drives you, what triggers you, what motivates you, what sets you alight, what puts you in a negative state. Become an expert in you, because once you tap into all these different facets of who you are, you'll know what to accelerate and what to turn the volume up on, because you'll know that's the thing that really takes you to the next level. The more you know you, the better successful person you become, and that's where the breakthrough will happen. Education, seek out the knowledge, be willing to seek help, and do not do it alone. I've shared this quite a number of times with both clients and on these videos that I shared with you. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help, and don't stop until you get it, from Les Brown. I love that quote, because help is what you need most of the time, because usually we're missing something, or we're missing support or guidance from somebody to shine a light back on knowledge that we do actually have, but we kind of buried it with bad habits, or we forgot it. Yeah. Steps 5. If you want to make this breakthrough, create structure in your life: time, progress, being accountable. Create a calendar of actions. If you don't put it into your calendar, and you're not the kind of person who sticks to what you need to do, you'll find that your bad habits will creep in, and you'll find that actually you've spent 3 hours scrolling social media or doing something that doesn't support you, and you'll be like, what happened there? Where did my time go? Or you'll feel like you just haven't done something productive in your day. Maybe you just haven't given yourself space to think even. Step 6, above the line. I share this again with clients. Introduce ownership, accountability, and responsibility in your life, and hold yourself to the highest levels of those 3 things. Ownership, accountability, responsibility. Breakthroughs will follow just from taking those 3 things to the next level alone. This isn't for the timid type of person, or for the person who wants to shy away from their vision and their goals. This is all about breakthrough. And the more courageous you are to the actions you need to take, the more breakthroughs you will get in your life. Step 7, letting go. Let go of what doesn't serve you: behaviors, emotions, actions. Who doesn't serve you? So toxic people, the wrong people to be around. If the toxic people are your family, just spend less time with that particular person or people. It's not a bad thing. Just you're choosing to spend time with the people who do nourish you and encourage you. Let go of not getting caught up in your own echo chamber. So don't bullshit yourself. Just be open to say, like, let me look at the results. Let me look at the actions I took and say, what, perhaps I could have done things different, and I will do it different next time, or I'll take it different. I'll take the different actions that are needed. And that way, You don't become the kind of person that pulls you back down because you can't get above yourself, around yourself, or beyond your own problems. Just let go of things that don't serve you. And usually a sign of things not serving you are where you're finding difficulty and challenges in your life. And the more you start to look at those things and look at how you behaved and what led to those results, that's where your breakthrough will happen, because it will come to you with your beliefs, because they will start to change, guys. So there we have it, 7 steps. Hopefully you can use those 7 steps. Here's my final quote before we wrap up on today's video. Almost every significant breakthrough is the result of a courageous break with traditional ways of thinking. And those traditional ways are your habits. Yeah, not traditional external, but your habits. Yeah, and that's what I want for you today, guys. I want you to look at the things you think are serving you, and actually they're not. I want you to look at what beliefs you hold. I want you to look at what potential you think is there for you in your life, your business, and what you can do. And I want you to then take the necessary action, the volume or the sheer size of action that you need in order to achieve the result you want. And the final thing I want to add to that is, the more you look at your life as a long-term approach, the better and the more consistent you become, and the bigger the breakthroughs happen. Because, you know, in this economy, in this society, we're looking for, you know, things to happen quick. We want things now. We want things, you know, happening yesterday, because we're in this kind of now mentality. And the more you can focus on things happening, you know, more longer term, and you take more considered and longer actions, and focus and know that, you know, no matter what happens, you can outwork the next person to you, because you're in it for the long haul, the more success you'll find, guys. So that's it for today. Remember, guys, if you do want help growing your business, and you want to come from a place where you can get supported by somebody who actually understands psychologically what goes on with you as a human being, what goes on with you in your mind, what goes on with you and the challenges you face in growing your business around marketing and sales, I'm your guy. Simply comment grow below this video, and I'll be more than happy to organize a time to have a chat with you to talk about how I can take you to the next level. If you're a coach, a consultant, or an expert, you know, you're the kind of person that I'm looking to help right now. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate you taking the time out to comment, those of you who commented. If you've enjoyed the content and you've liked it, remember, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. As I said, there's lots of great content like this and more. If you want to just be redirected there, visit leonstreet.com/YouTube. You'll be redirected to my YouTube channel, where you can click on subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my upcoming live streams and new videos that we post weekly. Lots of great content. And on that note, guys, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Sunday morning here in the UK. I want to wish you guys a blessed Sunday, and I hope this video, this content, has set your week up ahead to be the biggest breakthrough that you need right now. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.